Hello everyone and welcome to Siriana Tarot. This is a singles new love reading for Capricorn. We're going to look at the kind of love you're ready to experience now based on the growth you've already done. Take what resonates and leave the rest. Clear messages, advice, and guidance for my Capricorns, please. All right, so we have the Ten of Swords. We also have the Queen of Pentacles, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy. They're viewing you as the Nine of Wands, okay? And the connection, we see the Five of Pentacles, okay? And we have the Nine of Cups. All right, so I feel like you have somebody here, Capricorn, who's recovering from some sort of painful ending. But this is somebody who's single, independent, they take good care of themselves, their house, their home, their finances. They look good, they always look like they're going somewhere. I also feel like they're very grounded. For a lot of you, this person may have their own business, or I feel like they're really happy in whatever it is they do for a living. Like it's creative, it's fulfilling, it's something they're passionate about. With the Nine of Cups here, I also feel like this person's really fun to be around. They're someone who they've been through something painful, but it's like they're determined to not wallow in it or to, drop into any sort of victim mentality. They're determined to live their life to the fullest. So I don't know if this person went through a painful or difficult divorce and they have a new lease on life. Maybe they kicked bad habits, maybe they had a near-death experience, maybe they lost a loved one, experienced some sort of personal loss. But this is somebody who's like, I know it sounds cheesy, but like life gave them lemons and they're making lemonade, right? That's the energy I get from this person. Some of you may meet this person at a party or at some sort of celebration. Pay attention to repeating nines. Double nines is an indication of destiny for me as a reader. The Six of Pentacles energy in reverse tells me that your person has been in a situation that was really imbalanced. Again, most likely a relationship, but it could have been a job. It could be a job that they were fired from, that they put in way more time and effort than they were compensated for, something like that. But again, if they got fired, like they took that severance and invested in their own business and now are thriving, like it's that type of energy, although it doesn't have to be that story exactly. So I definitely feel like this person has experienced the painful ending, but to something that wasn't in alignment for them or wasn't bringing them balance anyways. And we see the Page of Swords energy in reverse, yeah. And I feel like your person didn't see it until now, or until after it was over. And I really like this energy because I feel like you have somebody here who's really reflective. Somebody who's basically had something, and excuse my language, but something really shitty happen. And they're looking back and they're like, you know what? It was actually for my highest and my greatest good. It was like, it was the worst thing that ever happened, but it was also simultaneously the best thing that ever happened because it brings them to you. But it also, I don't know, it just feels like they have a new lease on life, or they feel free, they feel light, they feel aligned, they're following their passion, they're independent, they're healthy, they're stable. I really like this energy I'm getting from this person. But I do also see too, like your person, they might be somebody who gets a lot of attention, and they may be exploring their options when you meet this person. And I don't get that they're promiscuous or anything, but I do feel like their energy is open, right? Like they're open to dating, they're open to getting to know people. With the Page of Swords in reverse, this can also be someone here who, meanwhile, has also been checking you out, right? So I don't know if you go into their job or they come into yours or where you see this person, but they've definitely been checking you out. How are my Capricorns going to be feeling the Four of Pentacles? You're going to know right away. There's like a strong soulmate connection. This person feels like home. I think you're going to see being in a relationship with this person pretty easy and pretty early on in knowing them. I keep getting like you visit this person at their job. Like, I don't know if they like, for example, like you go to the pharmacy and they're the pharmacist, right? Or, you go to a coffee shop and they work there, whatever it might be. All right, let's see. But of course, that's not going to be for all of you, but it's a strong message coming through for some of you. All right, what else do we need to know about this person? They're funny. Yeah, again, there's this lighthearted energy despite what they've been through, and it's not false because this person has a new lease on life. I feel like they want to live life to the fullest. They expect a lot of fun and light energy with this person. The laughter you share may very well bond you and alleviate stress. Capricorn, this is your twin soul, a mirror of yourself. This is a connection that intends for you both to balance your feminine and masculine energies and evolve your soul. This person could be a single parent, or they may want children, or they just embody this nurturing maternal energy. We do see your ex, but I don't think this is a reconciliation. And we see wealthy, that someone with a lot to offer. They may have worked hard to achieve their success. A comfortable lifestyle is indicated. Yep. And I think comfort, like a comfortable lifestyle on so many different levels. On so many different levels. Not only, financially, but physically, being healthy, being comfortable in their body, emotionally as well. Like, this is not like a high contrast, high conflict person or relationship that I'm picking up on. In fact, I think it's going to be very easy to fall in love with one another and to be with each other. So the Queen of Pentacles, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy, she's all the things. All right, so someone who takes good care of themselves, their house, their home, their finances. Somebody hardworking, stable, practical, and wise. But also, I do see that they're like free-spirited, funny, best kept secret. Yeah. So I feel like that best kept secret could also be what they've been through. Because I think you get this high vibrational, happy, fun energy. You get this version of them, but you're going to find out that, oh, okay, this is why they look at life this way. Right? Because they've experienced the opposite end of the spectrum there. For some of you, this person is in their 40s, but just remember these really specific messages are not going to resonate with all of you, but they will be confirmation for some of you. They might enjoy tarot. Maybe they even have a deck themselves. All right. And we see curvy energy, which, may or may not be the case, but that just indicates that you're going to be physically attracted to this person. All right, Capricorn, let's see what else we need to know here. What else do my Capricorns need to know about this person? Okay, some of you, they may not have children, but they may want children. Some of you, their childhood was really tough, is what I'm getting. Like, they might have come from like a pretty nasty or broken childhood. Again, it didn't break them, and it didn't make them bad, or this is somebody who has broken, ancestral patterns or cycles. That's what I'm getting. So if they experience some sort of abuse or a difficult childhood, this is someone who's like determined not to do that, right? We see coffin. Some of you, this is a really tough message. They may have either be estranged from a child. They could be in the midst of a child custody battle. Some of you, they may have had difficulties in conceiving, or they may have lost a child. I know that's a really tough energy, but it's kind of what I'm getting. But I'm also seeing with this coffin energy, regardless of their personal story, endings bring new beginnings, and that's the embodiment of this person. And we see wealthy man. So male or female, it doesn't matter. This person does have a lot to offer. Okay, this is someone who's, quite successful. All right, let's see what else we need to know. Sorry, I know that like this energy got kind of heavy right here. But but it's the nature of like this person is so high vibrational right now because of what they've overcome. And it's like they've seen a lot in life. They've experienced a lot in life. All right, they may have more vowels than consonants in one of their names, or something about the vowels in their name may really stand out. This person may dye their hair. They may have tattoos. Okay, not for all of you, of course. And they may have met you more than a year ago. So this might be somebody who's been around you for quite some time, or somebody you met briefly. Now, if you don't know who this person is, you've never met them, it could indicate there's a past life soulmate connection, because that's also the 9 of Wands here. And we do see this person speaks with an accent. So they may be from a different city, state, country, region. They might not, whatever language you speak with this person, it may not be their native language, so they might have a little bit of an accent. The 9 of Wands tells me they might see you as a little bit guarded. They might meet you at a time when you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed or exhausted. But remember, the 9 of Wands, as I just said, is a past life soulmate card, so a sense of familiarity here between the two of you. The 9 of Wands is also someone who holds a torch for you. All right, they see you as the 4 of Wands. So you're both seeing the 4 of Wands. You're both seeing 1111. You're both seeing stability and security. You both feel like home to one another. All right, we see the Queen of Wands in reverse, but this person might be really worried about third-party energy. They might be worried, Capricorn, that you only want to stick around for a good time, not a long time. This person might also be worried that you're not attracted to them. How you're going to be feeling, Knight of Pentacles, slow and steady wins the race, and most likely because of, earth energy. Capricorn in particular is slow moving energy, but it moves slowly towards what it wants. And again, your person may read that as you not being interested, or maybe you having other options available. All right, even if that's not the case, but both of you do feel like home to one another. What else does this person really admire about my Capricorns? Networker. So you might meet through friends or be set up by friends, but they see you as the networker archetype, enhancing unity through the sharing of information, engenders social awareness and empathy. So again, they see you as somebody who's social, that you're always like helping other people out. You have a lot to talk about. You're up to date on like what's going on in the world. You use critical thinking. You share your knowledge. Capricorn, they see you as king, male or female, it doesn't matter. Enlightened, benevolent, an enlightened and benevolent leader, and you benefit those in your charge, whether that's friends, family, children, employees, co-workers. Like, you're a good leader. And Capricorn, you are cardinal energy, which is leadership energy. But most of all, they feel like they can trust you. So they see that you are considerate of other people's feelings and that you're trustworthy, that you don't engage in gossip. Now, the 5 of Pentacles is interesting because it defines this connection. So what I'm getting here more than anything is one or both of you may be feeling a little bit disappointed or left out in the cold before you two meet. And we see this connection brings steadiness through conscious engagement. So stability through awareness. All right, beautiful. All right, we also see that this connection encourages you to show up as you truly are. Yeah, and I don't think my Capricorns would have it any other way, but I do see that with this embodying authenticity, because you're going to feel safe to be exactly who you are with this person. They're holding space for you, the good and the bad, and vice versa. All right, and respecting individual paths. This connection honors each person's journey. Yeah, so no one here really feels left out, and it's nobody's like bulldozing the other one emotionally or physically or mentally or anything, or financially. And at the bottom of the deck here, we see that this connection unfolds according to emotional readiness, whether that's for you or for them. But patience allows alignment to deepen. Beautiful. And this meeting happens while learning, studying, or developing a skill. Growth becomes the bridge between you. So you two learning and growing together. Or maybe you're developing a skill. Maybe you're going to school. Maybe you're taking a cooking class. Maybe you're at the gym taking some sort of new class or fitness class or something like that, and you meet this person. All right. So it can really be, or it can just be what's going on, what your main focus is right now as well. All right, so final messages, advice, and guidance for my Capricorns, please. Final messages, advice, and guidance for my Capricorns, please. All right. Romance interrupted, duties come first. So just a little warning, there could be work that gets in the way, or work schedules may kind of make it harder to get together. But there's a gravitational pull towards one another. So it's undeniable. We see that destiny energy as well with double nines. A healing connection. Your romance will transform your life. And we also see forever young, a song of youthful playfulness. So remember, the couple that plays together stays together. So I do feel like there's going to be a lot of fun, lighthearted energy here in this connection. All right. Again, like, this person's been through a lot. You have too. But that's not what defines them. And I feel like this person is determined to, to be free-spirited, fun-loving, joyous, and enjoy life. That's kind of what I'm getting, but not in a risky way, right? Not in the way that they ignore responsibilities, or they're, careless with other people's feelings and emotions, or even with themselves. All right. So we see this could be happening as early as next week or next month. All right, my lovely Capricorns, I'm going to leave it here, sending you love and light. Take care.